Thanks, everyone. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're calling in from. I'm happy to be here. If you could just drop some messages on the chat box, you know, just so I know that I'm not speaking to myself. To see, you can just tell me where you're joining in from and all of that. Um, you're welcome once again. I will just get started right away while I wait for that. So yeah, the session is titled From Virtual to Reality, How Businesses Can Utilize Metaverse Technologies for Growth and Success. I'll be taking this from a very interesting angle. Um, that's from a product marketing angle. So let's just get right into it. So hi again, my name is Joba. I am Joba Dedrumo, that's my full name. I do everything around metaverse strategy and product marketing for technology ventures. As you can see here on the top right section of this screen, here are some of the companies I'm currently affiliated to with. You have Immersive Technology Africa, which is an NGO promoting the use of XR in Africa. We also have Kovac XR, and I'm also a member of the World Metaverse Council. I also have a couple of educational certifications from the Lagos Business School, Metropolitan School of Business and Management, UK, and Harvard Business School online. So that's a bit about me. I'll just check the chat box if we have anyone saying hi. Hi, Zoe. Welcome to the call. Hi, Bolu. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, so we'll just go right into it. So the key takeaways to expect from this presentation, I have about 30 minutes to deliver this. We might spend less, but regardless, I have about 4 major takeaways from this presentation. And the first of them being, sorry, 1 second. The first of them being, would talk about the history of the metaverse, how we moved from the journey from virtual into reality, what we're now talking about, VR, AR, XR, the metaverse. It was a virtual imagination before, and now we have it as reality. And we talk about strategies that businesses can utilize for utilizing the metaverse platform for growth. We then consider a couple of case studies and end it with next steps, insights that you can use to position your business for metaverse readiness. I hope you're enjoying this so far. So just hang with me for the ride. So yeah, the journey from sci-fi to reality. If I don't know how many of you are quite familiar with Ready Player One. It's a it's a film rather by Steven Spielberg. And as you can see on the right, essentially this was a movie that depicted the reality we're currently living in. So I'll just ask this question. It's a rhetorical question and you don't have to answer. Is the metaverse really here to stay? And this is a question most people have been asking for some months now, or should I say through the year. And but we'll just look quickly at the history. How did the metaverse grow? It started from the birth of an idea in 1935, went down to a couple of other years and up the way to 1952, where we had the creation of the Sensorama. Went down all the way to 2003, where we had the first prototype of the meta world, which was Second Life. And in 2021, which is 2 years ago, we had the hype where Facebook, that's Meta, changed their name from Facebook to Meta, and businesses started seeing the use cases of the metaverse, and we started having industrial use cases of XR, AR, and VR. So I'll just ask the question again. Do you think the metaverse is here to stay? You could just answer that if you wish, whereas it's not necessary. So yeah, the history of the metaverse. The Sensorama I spoke of circa 1962. You can see the Sensorama image here. I'm sure many of you have been to game arcade before, and you've seen some of these game boxes where you play, a car race or whatsoever it is. And that was how the Sensorama was in 1962. It had 3D, it had motion, it had aromas, it had wind, it had vibrations coming from the seat, right? This was one of the first prototypes of how the metaverse would look. And I think this is a very interesting, prototype of the metaverse, and just shows us of the potential we are currently living in. Of course, there are some use cases like this, or there are some tools or technologies like this right now. Maybe not exactly how big this is, but you have some VR headsets that bring out aromas and all of that. But this is just to paint you a picture of what the history of the metaverse has been like. So we'll go down into it. How can businesses utilize the metaverse for growth? I'm saying all of this or making this presentation from a point where you must have already completed and honed as a business your research, which is the first thing. You must have also completed and honed your product development process. Must also have completed and honed your positioning, and also internal enablement. These are very important concepts before you can then talk about going to the market. That's your GTM strategy. Most businesses, so of course, research, do your customer research, understand your product, understand your users, understand your customers before you then, talk about your development position and all of that. So after you've completed, or given that you've completed all of these, we can then talk about channels of distribution. And when we talk about channels of distribution, this is where we can now say metaverse platforms and communities. You can consider having the metaverse, platforms as a channel for distribution of your product, right? For example, we talk about in-game billboards, 3D portals. Now, I'm just going to be giving a highlight of some of the metaverse worlds that we currently have and their monthly active users, how valuable they are, and how valuable they can be to your business. We have Horizon World, which is owned by Meta, Meta being previously Facebook, and they reported that they have about 200 to 300,000 monthly active users. The biggest being Roblox. Roblox has over 200 million monthly active users. You also have Fortnite having over 85 million monthly active users. Minecraft, about 165 million monthly active users, are just right behind Roblox. And finally, you have the Sandbox. These are just some of the metaverse platforms a business might want to utilize, right? And for me, I think this is opportunity. This presents opportunity, right? You have this number of people hanging around Roblox, a number of 200 million plus people. I think that's currently around the population of the entire Nigeria, where I'm currently based, right? And you can imagine that if you have your product in Roblox, or you're advertising your products in Roblox, you're literally advertising to well over 200 million people, being the entire population of Nigeria, which usually would be a very refined target. And this is data according to player.io and Drapad data, right? And you could also choose to not follow all these platforms and maybe think of, okay, you could build yours with a tool like Microsoft Mesh for collaboration, or use Spatial to build your own community. So these are options you can use for utilizing the metaverse platforms for your business growth. So this was a quotation from Roblox at the Roblox Developer Conference in 2022. They said their platform drives immense economic opportunity with 2.7 million people earning Robux. I think that's the digital currency from their creations in June 2022. And they had over $580 million in payouts via the developer exchange over the 12 months ending in June 2022. Now, if you look at the image here, that's just a depiction of Roblox immersive ads, right? So here you're seeing right now is a portal, a 3D portal, and you can see an avatar in the form of a rabbit. So as you can see here, this rabbit, or this avatar rather, is moving around Roblox, and then comes across this Vans world. I'm sure we all know Vans. Vans is a popular shoe brand, fashion brand, and they come across Vans, and then they have the option of entering into the 3D portal and then exploring Vans world, which is a very great opportunity for marketing. If you think about it, it's a very great opportunity for marketing because they can present their products, brand awareness. As a matter of fact, even acquire customers through that, right? So this was at the Roblox Developer Conference, and just shows you the immense opportunities from Roblox as a platform. And then we also have in-game ad formats, like I mentioned earlier. If you are familiar with some games, mobile games, where you're running through a mobile game, and then, for example, Temple Run. I'm sure everyone knows Temple Run, right? You're running through Temple Run, and then you're seeing ads. So this is just one format of it. A MasterCard, a popular brand, a popular financial company, they advertised on Legend of the League of Legends, rather. It's an esports game, and according to them, according to a study conducted by The Drum, it was said or reported that 37% of mobile gamers say that in-game ads have predisposed them to make a purchase during the past 3 months. Moreover, almost a quarter, that's 23% of those polled, indicates that in-game ads have inspired them to make multiple purchases. Even I myself, I'm someone who testifies to this as well. I used to play. I'm a fan of GTA, and GTA is one very, very good example of this. I'm sure you probably heard of GTA before, right? And you see a lot of adverts on the game itself, right? And that's an example of how metaverse ads or metaverse growth opportunities can work. So we'll be considering different stages of the funnel, of the buyer funnel, right? And how the potential of different metaverse channels can be utilized, right, for your product. So we have the top of the funnel, we have middle of the funnel, and we have bottom of the funnel. These are the important stages that a buyer or a customer will go through before choosing to buy or patronize your product. So for the top of the funnel, you have a platform or a channel such as virtual events that you can leverage. You can leverage virtual events, which would help in enhancing brand awareness. And this will be very relevant for lifestyle brands, music brands, corporate brand events and programs. This will be very good for your top of the funnel strategies. So you can leverage virtual events on a metaverse platform like Roblox or even Decentraland. You organize an event just to generate brand awareness. And this is very important for your brand growth. You then go down to the second part of the funnel, which is the middle of the funnel. You can then leverage AR, VR technologies, which will enhance product visualization and storytelling for your brand. If you're an e-commerce brand, if you're a mobility brand, if you're an aviation brand, or even architectural companies, right? This will be very good for your middle of the funnel, your more full strategies, very good for capturing users or capturing customers rather. And then we have the bottom of the funnel, which is one of the best parts and one of my most interesting parts, right? Because you can leverage metaverse channels such as NFT assets, right? To create the principle of scarcity, create the principle of FOMO. FOMO is called the fear of missing out. There's a research that says that customers tend to rush a product or rush at a product rather when they have a fear of miss out on it. So you can imagine that, if you leverage assets such as NFTs on metaverse platforms, you'll be creating scarcity, you'll be creating FOMO, and then your product offering. And what you can imagine is that you will drive heavy demand with your product, and this will work for lifestyle brands, artists, luxury brands as well, right? And all of the likes that way. I'll just move further. So what are the growth opportunities to explore? The ad formats you can explore for your distribution on the metaverse, right? There are different formats. So you can imagine it like the regular or the real life marketing opportunities or growth opportunities you have, where you can use billboards, you can use digital advertising, you can use digital marketing, right? So on the metaverse, you can use portal ads, just like the first that I showed you of. Sorry, 1 second. The first I mentioned with Roblox, where they had where Vans leveraged Roblox portal ads. So you can also leverage that and use it on different metaverse platforms. You can also leverage 3D models, right? 3D models on different games or different metaverse platforms. So this would be characters that are not performing in the games or in the metaverse. They are just they're stationary. You can also leverage immersive video ads. So your avatar or an avatar within a metaverse platform like Horizon words, for example, if Horizon word resonates with your target audience, you can use the Horizon world. You can find an avatar walking around the Horizon world, and then he comes across your immersive video ads and watches it, and probably wants to make a purchase. You also have avatar items. You can also leverage interactive pop-up shops. You can have Metaverse where users can come, avatars can walk there with their avatars and essentially, see your different products offerings. You can also have static image or GIF ads, so these are the most basic form of ad formats that can be used for your distribution purposes on the Metaverse. So we'll take through some case studies. The first one here is with Heineken. I'm sure you all know Heineken. Is anyone younger than 18 years of age here? I doubt it. Yeah, so Heineken created or started their own Metaverse platform where they launched a product called Heineken Silver in 2022, right? And this product generated, or this experience generated 2 billion, not million, 2 billion Metaverse impressions. How impressive is that, right? So they created a virtual brewery on Decentraland. Decentraland is another Metaverse platform you can also leverage. And they recorded 2 billion. And their audience for that launch was the Gen Z audience, right? Which was a very, very good launch for them, right? So we'll go on to the next case study. Next case study here I'll be considering is Gucci. So Gucci launched an experience called the Gucci Garden Experience, and they recorded over 1 million visits in 2021, right? So it was a virtual exhibition space on Roblox. They used Roblox platform to create a virtual exhibition space. And, it was essentially an opportunity for potential users, or customers rather, of Gucci to go onto the Gucci Garden and experience the different Gucci products, right? And those avatars would then become mannequins in the experience. And they reported that they recorded over 1 million visits for their brand by using by using Roblox platform. And then we also have a tech product rather, which is Samsung. Samsung launched a product called the Samsung 837X, and then they had the virtual store experience, and they reported they had over 120,000 customers, just from this experience they created on Decentraland. So it was a Metaverse store where avatars and users essentially generally could walk into a store modeled after Samsung's New York City's office. So they have an actual New York City store, which is addressed at the 837 Washington Street in New York City. So after the opening, they were able to receive over 120,000 customers. Mind blowing, isn't that? Yeah. So I've said a whole lot of things right now, and I'm sure you're probably thinking off the top of your head, how can I get started? I'm interested. Joba, tell me, what can I do? What are the next steps? So I'm going to give you next steps, and insights to position your business for Metaverse readiness. So there are 5 processes here, and this is just a high-level process that will, of course, need to be fine-tuned for your specific business use case. But this is just a guide to help your brand or your business, whichever kind of business you run. So the first we'll be having is a customer and market research. It is very important that you understand your customers, you understand your users, and how they perceive your product. What are their behavioral patterns and what are their preferences? For example, you cannot be targeting the generation of people who are above 80 years of age and then expect to use a platform like Roblox. I'm sorry, but you'll be making a very wrong mistake in that angle. So you need to understand your users, understand your customers, and look at where they're hanging out, what are their behavioral patterns like, and what are their preferences. And then you go on to building and determining the right partnerships, the right partnerships for your product. So you find the right platform, whether it is Decentraland, whether it is Roblox, whether it is Horizon World, whichever one that you prefer. You look for that platform that has the product audience fit. So when I say product audience fit, what I mean is your product and the audience fits together, right? And then you also have platform as well. So there's a product audience fit with the platform, right? So And if you don't have the expertise, what you do is to also seek out partnerships to help you, technical partnerships to guide you through the process. And the next step to then go on to is to test. It's very important to test whatever it is. That's one rule of marketing. You must test, test, test. So test whatever you built to ensure that it aligns and integrates properly with your current processes. And then you leverage familiar processes and familiar templates, familiar frameworks, use that principle of familiarity to start with. So an example of the principle of familiarity is that some customers are already familiar with billboards that they see in real life. So you might want to consider leveraging such kind of billboards, maybe in-ad Metaverse billboards, as opposed to just any other format. So you can leverage those kind of familiar frameworks. And finally, you hack growth. And how do you hack growth? You hack growth by experimenting, you learn, and you optimize fast. You don't do it slow, you do it fast, fast, fast. You do it quick, you learn, and you iterate. So these are the insights that you can use to position your business for metaverse readiness. Yeah, you might be thinking as well that, okay, Joba, I'm not a Samsung, I'm not a Gucci, I'm just a small brand based out of England. I'm just a small brand based out of Poland. I'm just a small brand based out of Lagos, Nigeria. How do I don't have the budget. I don't have that kind of money that Gucci has. I don't have the kind of money that Samsung has. Okay, what you can do in this case is start small. You just want to start small, you can start small. The metaverse is open for every single one, not just the big players. So you can leverage tools like augmented reality, that's AR, and Web 3D formats for your product, and you watch your engagement skyrocket, literally. And there have been reports to prove this. According to Statista, by the end of 2023, this year, there will be over 1.4 billion AR device users globally. Now that presents an opportunity. That shows you that 1.4 billion people could potentially see your experience or interact or engage with your AR experience for your product. And then look at the next report, which says 57% of users say that they are likely to buy from a brand offering AR, that's offering augmented reality. And around 64% of consumers believe in the ability to use AR in their shopping experience. It increases their loyalty towards the brand. So you can already see the potential, the massive potential of using, technologies such as augmented reality and Web 3D, right? And this is a good way to start small. So that's for that. At this point, I'm basically done with my presentation, and I'll just be inviting you to come and have a look at what we're doing at Kovac XR. Kovac XR is a tool that I'm currently building with at our company. So you can come and have a look at what we're doing at Kovac XR. If you have your phones, you can just scan the QR code on the link to take you straight to the website, the landing page. Kovac AR is essentially a no-code AR development tool for architects and the building industry. So we are building a software to enable the building industry to enter the metaverse and present their buildings, present their project with the power of AR. So you can just scan the code and have a look. And yeah, thank you. You can rate my session. Thanks a lot for having me. Any questions, I'll be happy to take them. I think we're done.
Thanks, Joba. It was really interesting. Any questions?
Any questions?
Something about slide 15.
Thank you, Zoe. Okay, someone said, can you go back to slide 15 with the hacking steps? I missed a few steps. Sure, I'll be happy to do that. Slide 15. Oh, this is not slide 15. This is slides. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The next steps, insights to position your business for metaverse readiness. I'm trying to see Rama. Okay, you asked the question, Rama. You can check out what I've written here. I'll just go over it one more time. Like I said, this 5-step process is a high-level process that, of course, will need to be fine-tuned to the specifics of your own business. So depending on the industry you operate in, depending on the products you offer, you need to fine-tune this. But this is a very good way to start from, a good place to start from. You must start with doing customer and market research. understand your customers, understand your users, understand the people you're targeting, understand their behavioral patterns, understand where they hang out, understand all of this. You can, have a marketing professional in-house who can help you handle all of this research. You can do surveys, you can do customer interviews, right? You can do one-on-one interviews with your users, just to understand really how they're thinking of these technologies. Then you go ahead to then build the right partnerships. So whatever you've gotten from your research, the insights you've gotten from your research can then be influenced to know the right partners. For example, if you understand that your users are more of people who will hang around, or more of the younger generation who will hang around Roblox. So the younger generation will hang around Roblox. If that's your target audience, you can consider using Roblox as a partner. Whereas if your users or your customers are people who hang around, who are more of the older generation, who are more tech savvy, and they're more older generation, you can probably consider using Decentraland. That's a very good platform for the older generation. So you find the right platform, you then build, the right partnerships with these people, or with these partners rather. And if you don't even want to use those platforms, if you don't want to use the Metaverse community, what you can as well then do is, use a platform like Microsoft Mesh to build a collaborative environment for your business, right? Or you could use other platforms like Spatial, right, to build another one, whichever one works for you. Or if you want to just go the angle of creating AR experiences, that's augmented reality experiences or virtual reality experiences, these are standalone experiences that are independent to your brand. If you want to create that, you can also then look for partnerships that can, or technical partners that can help you build these AR experiences. For our own product at Kovac XR, what we are doing is we're helping the architectural industry, that's the building industry, so they can partner with us at Kovac XR to build immersive experiences, that's AR and VR for houses, AR and VR for their interiors and all of that. They can partner with us. That would be the right partnerships. The next step would then be to test. It's important you test, right? You test whatever you built. You don't roll it out immediately. You test it, and then you go ahead to leverage familiar frameworks, right? When I say leverage familiar frameworks, it's good to use frameworks, for example, like the billboards that everyone is aware of, right? Leverage that. For example, in the building industry in Nigeria, I'm going to give you a very good example. In Africa and Nigeria, the building industry, that's real estate. People who buy real estate in Nigeria are very used, or they are familiar with billboards. So we use billboards to advertise real estate offerings, right? Real estate products. So an innovative architectural company or real estate company can then use a billboard and embed a QR code on a billboard, for example. So imagine you're a buyer, you're driving through the road, and then you see a billboard with a QR code. You can then scan it and enjoy an immersive experience with AR of the house that you want to buy, that you're interested in. So this is a familiar framework you can leverage. And then you hack growth by experimenting, right? Experiments fast, you learn fast, and you optimize fast. So I hope that answers your question, Rama. All right, thank you, Rama.